Okay, so I have a 9 by 12-inch piece of, well, it's a block of Baohong paper. It's a watercolor, 100% cotton, cold pressed paper. I'm trying to remove some of this sticky glue here. I just basically drew like a pot or a vase here just to kind of give me an idea where I'm going to put some greens, and then kind of like bend out this way. And I'll be painting in loosely some leaves, maybe some like red type flowers. It could be a rose. Everything's going to be pretty loose. I'll be using flat wash brush and my long round Princeton Aqua Elite. Might get some other brushes too. So we'll start off by using the long round. I'm going to mix up some greens. Got my cadmium yellow deep and my Prussian blue. Just like a nice medium green, and then this little burnt umber. If I mix the yellow with that a little deeper with the Prussian blue. And how about some yellow with ultramarine blue deep? Just a different kind of like green, more bluey, sagey color. And then we could use this long round to get some browns. So we got this burnt umber, little Paynes gray mixed in to make some branches. Now I have an idea to make this a plaid, so I'm going to make this more solid. So I'm going to just kind of erase the lines. And I'm going to take this brush and just kind of figure out where I'm going to put some stems. Kind of coming out here. Just kind of loosely going up this way, out. I'll be adding some greens on those. Isn't that fun? And take this brush. I kind of hold it on the end here and kind of wiggle like that. Get a little more yellow. And we'll just kind of play with adding in, just wiggling in, pushing down, and like wiggling some greens off that. Almost like pine needles. Can add some of the deeper value too while you're playing with that. Push it around. I like this blue-green color. I'll do some of that. So I'm going to go like a blue spruce kind of color. We're going to do different petals too, besides like these pine needles. And I'm just, you see, I'm just kind of wiggling back and forth and connecting it to that stem. And can make another stem kind of off that and down. Grab this color. Right now we're just playing with stems. Just wiggle your brush. It's supposed to be like a loose, very loose, almost semi-abstract, kind of fun Christmas greenery. No frills, no musts. Just going back and forth, and you can do little lines like this. Grab some deeper color. Mixing more blue. More water. I dip my brush into some more water to get it looser. It's a little stiff. And just getting in these needles first. And then I go around and add a few more branches with my colors. Kind of bring down. Can add some berries in a bit. Maybe little small branches. I'll add some red berries around there. Going up over and maybe add some berries up this way. Playing with adding in some Paynes gray. Getting a little deeper, connecting those branches. That one's kind of floating. Okay. I'm going to use a different brush, like a 10 round. Aqua Elite, Princeton. Got this chartreusey loose green. So now we can kind of just make bigger, bolder leaves like this. Push down and kind of connect. Just different than these little pine needles. Kind of connect to that branch. I kind of make even a really big, waxy kind of green leaf. You know, I can have a couple of these big ones. You want a variety. Of course, we can have it coming over like down this way. a lot of greens. And then when we add the berries and the plaid, it will make it feel Christmassy. I'm going to get a little bit darker. Mixing Prussian blue and burnt umber in with my yellow. Getting a deeper green. It's a real intense green. Going back to this medium green. Put some leaves out this way. Coming down over this one. A little stem out here, and we can just push down, do compound strokes. So basically compound strokes, pushing down and lifting up. And we just, when we lift up, we connect it to that little line. Push down. So you want to have a variety of greens. Don't want to crowd it too much. We'll go back out this way and add some more pine needles. Don't crowd it too much, like I said. If you're going to crowd anything, it's kind of like down here by the vase. I'm going to go back down here. Just going to grab some wiggly, deeper greens. Be a little more crowded down here and really kind of like, this way. La la la. Okay. And a little bit more greens. I'm going to start to add my red in a minute, so I don't overdo the green. I kind of have it come down. A little bit bright yellow. Just going back and forth, jiggity jaggedy, like you see me doing here. Yeah, I'm liking this open part here. I want to keep it that way. Okay, so we've got a lot of greens already done. Gonna do some red stuff now. Just that simple, by the way, with the greens. Don't get too flashy. I love this color, Pyrol Rubin from Holbein. You just water this down by itself. Perfect color. If you wanted to start to go in and put in some berries. Those are kind of big. Make it a little bit smaller. Little small ones. Cluster that up here. Kind of getting my circle shape better. Just make like a circle shape. And of course you saw me do like a little stem down here, so I have to connect it. Going off the paper. A cluster down there. You can add some bigger ones in here. Just kind of peeking through, and maybe some over here. Now I don't have any holly in here, but you can feel free to add it. And like I said, you could add some roses or some other kind of red flowers in here. I think I'm just going to keep berries. Just simple. You could add some blue or type berries, like juniper berries. I think there's juniper berries in the wintertime. Why is my circle not happening? Having difficulty making a circle today. I find like recently it's just like difficulty painting. And if everyone says, do I ever have bad days? Of course. I'm like, I just went through 3 videos I didn't like. And it hasn't happened in a while, but it happens. And so I kind of just got rid of them. And I'm making some ultramarine blue deep and burnt sienna, mixing it a little bit deeper. So it makes a little bit blueberries. Not blueberries, the fruit, but blue or berries. Kind of connect them up here. Variety. That's what we're going for. Right? Sweet little blues. Sweet blues. Maybe add some gold too. Okay, so I'm picturing a plaid scenario. And I have my vase, it's really kind of long. I want to kind of shorten it. And then I can put like a table. It's on a table, and I need a ruler for doing that. I'll just grab a clear ruler, and I just go to the edge. And it'll be on a table. Boom. Table magically appears. So, for this plaid, I'm going to loosen up some of my paint, my pyrol Rubin. Cylinder type vase. So I got to curve it. Using your paintbrush for the drawing part of it. Just, you know, separate it, curve it a little bit. This is not supposed to be a serious painting, so we're not going to have to measure out everything perfectly. We're just going to use our paintbrush. Loosely just kind of make those curves, fill that in, almost like stripes for a candy cane, but no! I'm going to go back this way. Woo! If you have to pencil it in, pencil it in. But I just use my brush. And I don't mind using my brush, because what happens when you use your brush alone, like drawing with your brush, it lends itself to becoming automatically loose. And that's the name of the game that I'm going for here. I have a certain look in mind I want, and I don't want it serious. So I'll have to let those guys dry, and I'll put a darker tone in the center where they kind of meet each other, right? In the meantime, I can play back with my lovely brush, the long round, start to put some veins in some of my greens. Even these little ones, little tiny guys. Some of the color just kind of washed out. If you want to go back in and add a little bit more color again, you can do that. If I feel like, ugh, that color washed out, you can go right back on top of that. You want some deeper color, maybe kind of in here. Like kind of crowded down below near the pot or the vase or whatever. Makes more sense, right? And just maybe not so blue, you could add a little bit more browns. Little stems kind of covering that. Going up this way. Make it more interesting again. Coming down. Adding some deeper values and around here. All right, we're gonna let this red dry and come back. Once it's dry, we go back with the same brush, the 10, fill in those little squares with the pyrol Rubin, because they get darker, blah, blah, blah. This one was a little bit wet still. No one's gonna know. And then you could take your deeper green and make wonderful little stripes for plaid. 2, 1, 2. See how loose and not straight mine are? That's kind of the point, people. It's more exciting. Then go back this way. Now you could do 2 or 3 lines. I'm choosing to do 2, maybe 1 on this side. We got our cute little plaid. Isn't it cute? Add some other colors in there. Up to you. You can add another red stripe in there. Don't get too crazy. If you add another red stripe, just do 1. You know, crisscross that 1. There we go, plaid, right? I'm gonna connect some of this little greenery here with the branch. Looked like it was all by itself. Okay, so now we're gonna do like the table. I'm gonna grab a flat wash brush. Simple. You can grab some burnt umber or burnt sienna and paint ultramarine blue deep. Make a nice brown. I love mixing the two because it's granulating. That one's not even fully mixed, so well. And then go right over here. Dark, stark. Look at that intensity. Doesn't that look cool? You can just leave it like that. And then you water it down here on the bottom. Woohoo, intense. I'm gonna add a little more burnt sienna. It was a little too bluey. didn't mean it to be blue, but doesn't really matter, does it? You could just leave it with that intense color like that. If you want to go back over here, I'm going to erase some of my line for the table. Lighter color on the left side. Dipping my brush in water. Making that line. Dipping and getting it lighter. Moving it on the paper. Twisting and turning. What do you have? There's more, just definitely much more blue on that side. But that's okay, because it lends itself to being a nice shadow color. If you want to go over it with burnt sienna, you could. Got so blue right on the edge there. Just going to manipulate that a little bit more. Yeah, look at that. Now this vase looks like it's just flat, right? And this is kind of more 3D. Well, we will fix that, but we can't do that right now while it's wet, because we have to wait till this guy dries a little bit. And then we can go in and add some shadows on it to make it make sense. Right, and I was going to think about doing the background, and sometimes, well, might have to now because I made a mistake. Sometimes I don't like to do that. Sometimes I like to erase the picture with a little bit of color. I think I'm going to keep it today. I'm going to keep it simple. I don't want to make it so mushy. So I'm going to let this dry and going to start to work on the shadow on this. So as you can see, this is dry now. I'm going back with these two colors mixed. That's why this would happen here. It was too much blue because it wasn't properly mixed, but that happens. So I'm mixing it. It's a little too brown. I'm making it more of a blue-gray. Okay, testing on my paper towel. Make sure it's mixed. Yes. It's mixed. Okay. Okay, I'm going to add that little wash, boom, on the vase. Just like so. Clean off my brush, dilute it a little bit more, and go like this, crisscross applesauce. Dilute my brush. I want to make some gray over here, but not as dark as that. Just lightly touching it. If you push down too hard, you can see that the red is kind of lifting, which is fine. Another trick is you can kind of paint the gray first and then do the red. I'm going to go back and add a little bit more burnt sienna on the edge of this. I don't like this blue so much. It's bugging me. So I'm making it more brown. Just another wash of that color. We've got this wonderful shadow happening of my planter. You see how simple that shadow was? That's all you gotta do, right? I'm gonna just go in here and fill this in a little bit. Add a little color right there. Super cute. Didn't take much effort, did it? Nope. And you just need to add a little light one on the left side. Gonna mix this up again, separating, tapping on a paper towel because I don't want it so wet. I'm just gonna do a slight little wash right here. Looking 3D, isn't it? And get a little bit dark up in here with my colors. Kind of blending that a little bit. Voila! Last but not least, get a little bit darker with some of my greens. So this is the Prussian blue, the burnt umber, a little bit of yellow, a little more intense. Could add some fun greens going in here. We lost some of these colors. You want some variety, right? Adding in some veins. This one lost its vein. You can kind of outline some things. And jiggy jaggedy in here, get a little bit deeper. And connect like the berries to a stem if they're not connected. Here I'll loosen this up and add some veins in these leaves. And if the color seems dull, I'll just go back over it. Can outline some of these. Just getting really loose, kind of fun. And like I said, the berries, so the burnt umber and Paynes gray. Connect. They look like they're floating. They shouldn't look like they're floating. If these guys are not connected, connect them so they don't look like they're floating either. Gonna add a little bit more brighter greens. Okay, last but not least, we kind of fun. Gold paint. I love a little sparkle. Who doesn't love a little sparkle? So I'll loosen up this gold paint. And I can outline some of these. I can tap a little color in here. Go around the little berries. Just outline some of them. Kind of splash in a little bit of color here with the gold. Just add a little something something. You can literally splash it too, right? A little splatter doesn't hurt. Out that way. A little that way. Sweet. Oop, got a little splotchy out here. I like the way it came out. Have some fun. Like this guy is just sitting here floating, so I can even add gold. Gold little sprigs. Why not? All right, or go back and add some green, blue. Just kind of mix it with the gold. It's kind of exciting. Just different. Super fun. Didn't take much time to do this, and it's actually really pretty. You could do a smaller version of this for a card or whatnot, but just simple Christmas greens. I'm going to go back with my gold. Just like highlight some of the leaves. Love it. So let me know if you enjoyed this. I hope you did. Take your time doing all that good stuff. Super fun. If you want some more extensive, really advanced, kind of really cool tutorials, check out my Patreon. Click the link in the description box. I have some really fun Christmas ones over there. Fantastic other videos that will really kind of challenge you if you need to be challenged a little bit more. And it's a way to support my free content here on YouTube, which I really appreciate. All the support from all my patrons. All right, guys. I hope you had a great day painting this little fun little guy. And just take your time, just bending your brush, moving it. And remember, wait till this dries before you put this little wonderful shadow in here, because as you can see, it's blended and bleeded a little bit. But if it's really dry, it won't bleed too much. Okay? All right, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.